So the Vikings beat the Lions.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
I want to start with an award that's 2 weeks too late. It goes back to the first week of the season against Green Bay, where Green Bay just let Justin Jefferson run wild. And ever since then, Justin Jefferson has not run wild. In fact, he's basically been shut down.
I proclaim this the Summer of George!
Apparently your body was in a state of advanced atrophy due to a period of extreme inactivity.
We haven't seen this since that game against the Saints. I think it was the end of the 2020 season, where the Vikings just laid back and let the Saints run right through them, and that just destroyed the Saints in the playoffs. They came out in the playoffs and they just lost. Green Bay said, well, you know what? We're going to let Justin Jefferson walk all over us, and our best chance to win this division is to get him so overconfident, so unchallenged in this game that his body just shuts down. He just expects it all to be too easy, and that's what's happened. The Detroit game, I think we saw the return of the Mike Zimmer coin flips. I think it was 2020 or something where more than half the games were decided basically by a coin flip. Just by the end of the game, it's just whoever kind of had the ball last and made a good play at the end won. And that's what this game was. It was just basically Detroit saying, you know, take the game away from us Vikings. The Vikings saying, not yet. And then Detroit saying, well, here's another chance. Take the game away from us. Not yet. And then finally, here, take the game away from us. And Kirk Cousins saying, all right, I'll just throw to a wide open receiver and get a touchdown and win.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
Now, what we're seeing less of this year, I think, is the Vikings defense collapsing inside 2 minutes at the end of the first half and the second half. Part of that is because now they just collapse for the entire first half. They just don't even show up in the first half. And they're playing what I would call a Minnesota nice defense. You know how Minnesotans are like, Minnesota nice, we're so nice. But they're actually like nice to your face. They're very passive aggressive. I don't know that I'd call the Vikings defense passive aggressive. It's maybe just passive. It's just, oh, we don't think it would be nice to really be too aggressive and stop you. So we'll just let you get something and just hope that if something goes wrong, it's your fault and not ours. We don't want to cause you to make a mistake because that wouldn't be Minnesota nice.
Ravioli? Holy cannoli!
And that leads to us just laying back and letting them drive down the field for the entire first half. On what planet is that a good strategy? And the referees notice this. They notice who is being aggressive and who's being passive, who is weak and who is strong. And when they see someone being weak, they're like, I'm not going to give that person a call. They see someone who is strong and they think, well, that person knows what he's doing, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And so you get guys like Adam Thielen just whining like a little baby after every play. Maybe if you could get a lick of separation, maybe run a good route. Run a route. Part of getting open is running a route, not just running right into the guy, hoping he'll hold you so you get a call. And there's that whole play at the end of the first half where the Lions defender slapped the ball out of Garrett Bradbury's hand, and it probably kept the Vikings from spiking it and getting an extra playoff. That was a good play. That was a smart play, okay? And all the people whining about that, maybe if the Vikings made more plays like that, we'd get more of an edge. Maybe the other team wouldn't be able to get that last playoff. You know how the score would have been changed if we had been able to spike it and got an extra second for one more play? You know what would have happened? Nothing. Because we weren't in field goal range. Kirk Cousins is probably going to throw a 5-yard out because you don't want to have it intercepted in the end zone. Think of it like this. You want to impress a woman. And I'm kind of the world's expert on how not to impress a woman. Just ask my ex-girlfriend. I mean, if you want to impress a woman, do you impress her by being passive and weak? Or by being aggressive? And maybe a little bit cocky? Maybe a little bit of the bad boy?
Do I, scare you?
No. A little.
That's what it's like with the Vikings playing defense. We're going to be the nice guy. And you know what? The refs just want to be friends.
Anna, do you want to talk to George? No, I don't think so. No, she doesn't want to. Okay, bye, George. We'll see you.
I'm a bad man!
And so we don't get the call. So Kirk Cousins did lead us on that game-winning drive. My opinion of Kirk Cousins is well established.
He's white and neutered.
I think I said it last week with Kirk Cousins. You kind of get every third drive, you get something out of him. And it's very consistent. It's like 3 and out, good drive. And he had a couple chances at the end there, and he finally capitalized on the last chance. pardon me if I'm not that impressed. And I see people like on Twitter like, well, Cousins drove him into field goal range a couple times, and the kicker missed it. It's not Cousins' fault. How long were those field goal attempts? 56 yards? You call that field goal range? Maybe if Kirk Cousins could actually get them into legitimate field goal range, they would have had 6 more points. This was more about the Lions just finding a way to lose. Anyway, our awards for this week. The award for the guy I'd be happy to never see in a Vikings uniform again. That goes to Adam Thielen. I'm so tired of the whiny pitching a fit act every time he doesn't get a call. Every time he doesn't make a catch, it's always pass interference. It's always holding. It's always something else. And he can never get any separation. We don't need guys like this on the team. Go play soccer if you want to whine about a call all the time. If you want to take a flop all the time or play in the NBA. Look at Patrick Peterson. There was like a 3rd and 1 long pass that Goff made that Patrick Peterson probably held the guy on, but they didn't call it. So do you want them to call it both ways like that? You want Patrick Peterson to be called for holding on that 3rd and 1 or pass interference? Is that what you want? If they had called Patrick Peterson for pass interference on that play, did the Vikings win? No, they would have lost. The Mark Sanchez award for a butt fumble, that goes to Dalvin Cook, of course. He had a decent game, but of course, coughs it up. Kind of negate that. On a related note, the Xavier Rhodes Award for making a very bad play and suddenly being injured, that goes to Dalvin Cook too. I mean, he was legitimately injured, separated shoulder, but it's just kind of a coincidence. That seems to kind of happen with Dalvin.
Oh, my arm. It's broken.
The where the heck has this been the last 4+ years award, that goes to Kirk Cousins, where he threw what looked like kind of a back shoulder throw to KJ Osborne on the second to last pass play for the Vikings before the touchdown. That works. When the defender is not looking for the ball, you can underthrow it a little, and your receiver can make the catch. Or if the defender runs into your receiver, then you get a legitimate pass interference. You hear that, Adam Thielen? Butt cheek clench of the week. That was on that last deep pass by Jared Goff that was intercepted. I mean, it was like, just like butt cheeks like raisins. Just, oh my gosh, I was scared. I so expected that to be caught. The Mackenzie Alexander Award for just running into the backfield and ignoring the guy with the ball. He was blitzing, and he's got just a free shot at Russell Wilson. Russell fakes the handoff to the running back, and Mackenzie just goes straight for the running back. All that goes to Cameron Dantzler, who, I forget the play, but there was a play where I think the running back got the handoff, and Cameron Dantzler just ran right past him. And the guy got a big gain. And last, the award for the guy who's way less athletic than Andy Reid.
Lyman for Lavelle Edwards, but go back to 19th. This is the punt, pass, and kick contest. Look at the throw. Okay.
But somehow is way, way better than Irv Smith. That goes to the tight end for the Vikings, Munt, I think his name is. Don't know his first name, not going to look it up. But he looked pretty good, especially in comparison to Irv Smith, who sucks. Sucks. I mean, he just sucks. He just sucks. Everybody thinks Irv Smith is he's just one play away from being a star, whereas this guy Munt, who probably wouldn't have been drafted if there were 800 rounds in the NFL draft, he's way better than Irv Smith. This week, in London, I think, they play the Saints, and come on. You just can't lose to the Saints. I don't care. Even though it's just an early season, regular season game, you cannot lose to these scumbags. And you got to come out aggressive, and that's what the Saints do. They're very aggressive. Dirty, but also, same level aggressive. And let's match their aggression. Let's intercept Jameis Winston like 15 times, which is a few less than he normally gets, but in a game. But let's do it. Let's beat the Saints. And if they beat the Saints, I will not say one negative thing about anything associated with the Vikings in my next video.